Hello, what's going on, everyone? Thank you so much for joining me here today on Narcissism 101 Cracking the Code with me, Paul Wisdom. All right, good morning, everyone. Hope everybody's having a great morning. It's a little bit of a gloomy morning today, a gloomy day today here in London, Ontario. Not sure where you're watching me from. But wherever you're watching me from, thank you so much for being here. Before I get into what I'm going to talk about today, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send me a text message at 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need advice, I'd be more than happy to help you out, give you the help that you need. Yeah, I hope that it will be useful to you. So, what we're going to talk about today is, does the narcissist actually care? Do narcissists actually care about people? Did they care about you? Whether it's your parents, your mom or your dad, or your brother or your sister, your aunt or uncle, your spouse, your boss, person in a religious organization, pastor, minister, person who you met at the store, on the streets. Does the narcissist actually care? Do they care about people? Well, here's where we're going to start. What you guys need to remember, and if you've been watching my videos for quite some time, one of the things I usually like to say is that narcissists thrive off of chaos, confusion, and control. When the narcissist sees that they've caused chaos in another person's life, whether they lied to a person, whether they have a person doubting themselves through gaslighting, whether they shift the blame onto somebody who did or didn't do anything wrong to them. Narcissists get a thrill off of this. It gives them happiness. It gives them joy to know that they've caused chaos in somebody else's life. Now, when this chaos occurs, we have to keep in mind that the person, the victim, or the target the narcissist is targeting, that person is now confused. They're sort of in a trance, you know what I mean? Or the sunken place, or whatever you want to call it. The trance, the trauma bond, the narcissistic fog, whatever you want to call it. The target is in some sort of trance because they're confused and they're asking themselves, why is this person treating me like this? I've always been so good to them. I was there for them. I treated them well. I dropped everything to cater to their needs, but yet they're still treating me like this. I don't understand that, right? And now you're confused and you're trying to get answers. And the sad thing about trying to get answers from a narcissist is that you will never get answers. Narcissists don't give answers. Narcissists don't give closure. Why do you ask that question? The answer is because narcissists, if they give closure, it means that they have to self-reflect and they need to be accountable for the damage that they cause to the target. And narcissists don't like being accountable. Accountability, and I made a video on accountability. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for being here. Go watch my video on accountability. Narcissists cannot be accountable for anything, and they can't be accountable to anyone for anything because it would ruin their ego. It would ruin their image. Narcissists are very concerned about their image. They're very concerned about what people think. Although some narcissists will actually say, I don't care about what people think. And my ex-wife was one of them. One of the things she would always say is, I don't care what people think. And realistically, she did care. And she always made it seem as though she didn't, but she really did. Now that we've covered that, again, when it comes down to confusion, narcissists, once they cause that confusion, they know that they have control over you. You know what I mean? So once they cause chaos and confusion, chaos plus confusion equals control, because now the narcissist knows inside their minds, at least, that they are not going anywhere, or they believe that they have you tethered to them in some way, shape, or form. Now, you have to understand that narcissists, they do this every single day, right? And whether you were married to the narcissist, or whether it was the person that you've met, the person that you just met, they've been doing this long before the beginning of time. This is all they know what to do, because throughout their lives, they've never been held accountable by anybody. But when it comes down to their parents taught them from a young age that there are no consequences to the bad behavior that you do. And they've been trained from when they were kids to manipulate other people to get what they want, whether it was through lying to them, whether it was through saying one thing to them and doing another. So let's say that the narcissist, for example, They tell a person, I will be here, I'll be there for you, I will be your best friend when no one else is there for you. And then it turns out that anytime you need something from them, they just disappear. And you're just wondering, this person said they would be my best friend and they're nowhere to be found. Well, that's also known as future faking, because they told you in the beginning of the relationship when you first met that they would be there, and then they turn out not to be there for you. See, narcissists do this. They have a thing for this. This is their bread and butter. This is what they do every single day, right? It's how they thrive. It makes them happy, right? So the question is, do narcissists care? Well, here's the answer to that question. Narcissists only care about what you, the target, you, the empath that's watching my video, narcissists only care about what you can provide for them. They only care, and now they care about what you can provide for them, but they only care about what you provide for them for that specific day, on that day. What have you done for me today is the question that the narcissist will ask. And you have to keep in mind, narcissists don't care about anything about other than what you've done for them today. That's why narcissists, they live for the moment. They don't live in the present moment. And I talked about that in my other video that I recently created. They live for the moment in the sense that if something better comes along, then they will ditch that thing that they are doing during the moment, and then they will go off to something else in the snap of a finger. If they're in a relationship with somebody, let's say it's your boyfriend or your girlfriend, and they're a narcissist, then what they'll do is if they see something better, like if they believe the grass is greener on the other side, which most times it's not, sometimes it is, but most times it's not. What the narcissist will do is they will ditch you and they will leave you for that person because they believe that that person has something better than what you offer. So narcissists, they only care about what people do for them in the like for the moment. What have you done for me today? Not what did you do for me 10 years ago or 5 years ago or 2 weeks ago or a month ago or some time ago. Narcissists, or what did you do for me yesterday? Narcissists don't care about any of that. And if you were to come to them and say, I was at your doctor's or appointment yesterday at the hospital. I was there for all your appointments. I was there when you needed somebody to talk to. Narcissist, you know what that narcissist is gonna say to you? They're gonna say, and I actually experienced this with my ex-wife. She had problems with her toe and things like that. She had to go to the hospital for it at one point, and I was the only one, not even her family, but I was the only one who went to go see her at that time. And after a while, as time went along, one of the things I said to her, because she started blaming me for stuff that I didn't do, I said to her, well, do you remember when I was there for you? Because she tried to make it seem as though I was never there for her. And so what I said was, do you remember when I was there for you when you were in the hospital and no one was there? And you know what her answer was? Her answer was, well, you didn't have to do that for me, Paul. You made the choice to do that. I didn't ask you to do that. It was your choice. You could have said no. And so narcissists do this, right? So if you come to them and say, yeah, I was there for you at this time, they'll say, but you didn't have to do that for me. That was your choice. And then they make you the enemy. They make it seem like you're the bad guy. But realistically, you are not the bad guy or the bad girl. You didn't do anything wrong. You were just there for them because you cared for them and you loved them, right? And so narcissists, they don't care about anybody. They don't care about their siblings. They don't care about their spouse. They don't care about their boyfriend, their girlfriend. They don't care about their parents. They don't care about their job. They don't care about the people that work for them. Narcissists don't care about anybody. All they want to do is just cause chaos, confusion, and control. Because when they cause chaos and confusion and control in someone's life, believe it or not, it gives them a high. It gives them happiness. It makes them happy to know that they've destroyed yet another person's life. If you notice, sometimes when, for example, something isn't going right in your life or you need the narcissist, to understand something with you, many times they'll either smirk at you. I'm not the narcissist, so I can't smirk, but you get the point. And I made videos on the smirk and whatever else, right? Narcissists, they'll either they smirk at you, or they will make fun of you and they'll poke fun at you just for being sick. I remember when I was with my ex-wife and I wasn't feeling well at one point. I'm not one to get sick very often. I usually just get a sniffle or a congested nose or an itchy throat, maybe once a year. I don't get sick often, right? And so this one time when I was sick in the year, my ex-wife was like, ha ha, you're sick, look who's sick, ha 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 ha. And then she would be laughing at me, thinking that it's funny that I was barely sick. I just had a congested nose, and she was poking fun at me, thinking it was funny. And I remember when, at one point, I'm not sure what was going on with me. Like I had shivers, and I was laying on the bed, and I was trying to, I was trying to rest and get better. And the ex-wife, she was touching my shoulder. She's like, "Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine. I'm good." And then I was sleeping, and then I turned over, in the bed, and I looked at her, and I saw the demons coming out. Like I literally saw demons. Like I saw it on her. The way she was looking at me, it looked like demon possession in the bed. Like it was crazy. But anyways, guys, what I'm trying to say is that this is what narcissists do. And I made a video. If you're new to my channel, also go watch my video on narcissists are not just demon possessed. Go watch that video, because they're not. You have to realize that narcissists, that's why I tell people, this is why I tell many people, don't try to get narcissists help. Don't try to send them to therapy, to counseling. Don't try to send them to somebody who casts demons out of people. Don't do any of that nonsense. It's a waste of time, because narcissists, you have to remember, they're not just demon possessed. Like I said in that video, narcissists also have a disorder. It's called narcissistic personality disorder, where they have a disorder of their mind, where that empathy part of their brain isn't functioning like a normal person's, like the empathy in a normal person's brain. They don't think like we do. They're not like us, right? They don't possess empathy the way that we possess empathy, right? Because narcissists, again, they live for the moment. We live in the present moment. We relish and we enjoy the things that we are given, the things that happen in our lives. We're grateful for those things. At least I hope so, because we're empaths and we're watching my video. We're grateful for those things. Narcissists are not. They don't care about what people do for them. They only care about what people provide for them. So if you, for example, when the narcissist discards you, right? When the relationship or the experience ends, whether you were married to them in a relationship, whether it's your parent and they just stop talking to you, they cut you off, or whether it's your boss and out of nowhere you come into work and somebody's in your position and you're wondering, what's going on. When the narcissist discards you like that, and they just often leave you for somebody else, I want you to understand two things. One is that when the narcissist just up and discards you like that, or you come home and then you see that your house is empty and there's a note on your desk or something, or you get a long text in your phone just out of nowhere on the same day you guys are supposed to go out for a date, and the narcissist brings somebody around, or you show up to that date and the narcissist has somebody at the dinner table and you're wondering who the heck this person is. When the narcissist discards you like that, when they do things like this, guys, two things. One, you have to understand that narcissists, they don't care about anybody. They do that because they don't care. The second thing is that when the narcissist discards you for somebody else, you have to understand, and this is where many people feel bad, and they feel as though they mean nothing. This is what I want to tell you. When narcissist discards you, it's not necessarily because you were a bad person, but it's because the amount of supply that you had for them, meaning anything. It could be, that you had money. Maybe you were good in the bed. You could give good sex. Maybe it was, maybe you were a shoulder that they could cry on or go to anytime. Maybe it was the house that you guys lived in, that the narcissist was living on your dime and you were paying everything on their dime, because narcissists love your money more than their money. They squirrel away their money and claim they have no money. But then once you spend all your money, that's usually when they run away off to the new supply, meaning the person that they've been replacing you with. Now, you have to keep in mind, the new supply, you know what I mean? Usually the new supply is an ex, a person who they've been seeing before they got into a relationship with you, or it's somebody who doesn't know about narcissism, a clean slate, somebody who just goes through life thinking that everybody cares and everybody thinks the same way, right? So sometimes, not all the time, sometimes the narcissist gets involved with another narcissist. Sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they do. But most of the times, it's they get with someone who doesn't know about narcissism, or somebody who's an ex of theirs who hasn't figured out that they're actually toxic, or sorry, that they're actually a narcissistic person. Because toxic people and narcissists are two totally different things. But what I'm saying here, guys, is that narcissists, what you need to understand is that narcissists, they don't necessarily discard you for someone better. Usually it's for somebody who doesn't know about narcissism, somebody who hasn't figured out that they are a narcissist, right? So you have to understand that narcissists, do they actually care? No, they don't care about you. They don't care about anybody. They don't even care about the new supply that they're seeing, that they've been seeing and they've been grooming behind your back. They've been doing that all throughout the course of the relationship. If it's your parent, then what they do is they ditch you, they stop talking to you, and then they go off to one of your siblings, or they go off to one of the other family members, and then they smear campaign you to the family members, and they do many things like that to discredit you. And the reason why, I want to touch on this for a moment, the reason why narcissists smear campaign, and I've said this many times in videos, and I've spoken to content creators and things like that. The smear campaign is the one thing I hate the most that the narcissist does. Narcissists, they triangulate, they blame shift, they gaslight, they manipulate. But the worst thing I hate is the smear campaign. And I hate the smear campaign because it's really damaging to know that the person that you supposedly cared about, that all throughout that relationship, they've been talking bad about you behind your back to other people. These could be your parents, these could be your siblings, these could be your friends, these could be your people at work. Some narcissists are sadistic like that, where they'll actually call your place of employment, and then they'll talk crap about you, and then next thing you know, you get called into office and get let go from your job because the narcissist was telling lies about you and faking about you. Narcissists do this, right? They do this every single day. But what we're saying is that narcissists, they don't care about people. They don't care about anybody. They don't love it. Narcissists don't know how to love. They can fake it. They can fake love, right? Because narcissists don't have a heart like you. You know what I mean? They're not built like you. Narcissists don't think the same way you think. And they don't have your best interests at heart. They don't care about you, right? That's because narcissists, they're always looking for something better. They get bored it's also because they get bored very easily, right? They're not normal people where if they're married to one person that they can just go through life and enjoy the boring parts, enjoy the life that they made, the fruits of their labor. Narcissists can't do that. They need to always be on the go, and they always need to have something in place in case that relationship blows up. That's why, if you notice, narcissists don't have many friends, or they don't have many long-term relationships, because most of those people are toxic. Most of those people are narcissistic, or most of those people will figure out eventually that the narcissist is a narcissist. And once those people figure it out, that's why the narcissist has different groups of people, and they keep them separate. And most of those people never even meet those people, because narcissists know that at any one time, any of those people in those groups can figure out that something's wrong with this person. And then once that person figures it out and they start talking to people in that group, then the narcissist gets exposed. And narcissists don't like to be exposed. They don't like to be figured out. That's why they need to have multiple groups of people, so that if that group figures it out, they can go on to that next group and know that they have that next group. Because narcissists always need to have someone on the back burner, because they know that at any one time that relationship can end. That relationship can go south. And the narcissist can't be alone. That's another thing. They can't be alone, because if they're alone, that means that they have to think about all the lives that they've blown up. It means that they have to think about all the people that they lied to, all the people that they gaslighted, all the people that they smear campaigned, all the people that they stole money from, all the people that they physically abused, all the people that they spiritually abused, all the people that they've done. They have to think about all those things, and they can't do that because they have so many skeletons in the closet. They have so many lies built up that they come to haunt them. That's why many times narcissists, they might go away. They might claim that they're going away for some time, or they say, I need space. That was one thing my ex-wife said close to the ending of our marriage. She was like, do you think that we should take some time apart? And I was like, well, if you want to take some time, you can. I said, if you want to take some time, you can go ahead. But just know that once you do that, then it's probably a good idea that we just don't be together. You just move on with your life. And so, that's one thing narcissists do. They say things like, I think we need some space, or I think that we need to stop spending time together. And then once they do that, then they know that they're going to be off because they get bored. And the thing is, keep this in mind. They don't get bored because don't think for a second that just because they got bored of you means that you're a bad person or you're not a good person. It has nothing to do with that, because the truth is that the narcissist does this with everybody that they encounter, because narcissists, they're not focusing on the good stuff. They always focus on what people can do better. Once they figure out that people are not perfect, that human beings aren't perfect, that's when they discard. That's when they start looking around for the replacement to replace that person with another person. Whether it's in the family, the parents go off to another sibling to go abuse another sibling who will give to them, or they go off to another family member, or the boss, when they fire you or they let you go, they abuse the next person in line. That person's let go, and then that person's like. So it's a cycle of abuse that goes around. And again, I made a video on this before, that the narcissistic abuse cycle, it's been going around from the get-go. Even in the love bomb stage, it was happening. In the love bomb stage, you were being devalued, but you just didn't know it. You had no idea that somebody could do this, and they willingly knew what they were doing. You just thought that nobody was perfect. That's what I thought. When my ex-wife, when we were dating, and she put her hands on me and she shoved me just like that. When we were just having a conversation, I said I disagreed with her, and then she shoved me, and then she just stormed off and walked away. And then I tried to have a conversation with her. I'm just like, what happened? And then she threw a rage fit at me and started yelling and getting in my face. Like, I thought that was just imperfection, that she just had some challenges, that she was just going through a lot. That's what I thought. I didn't think that somebody would do that to somebody on purpose, knowing that they wanted to destroy another person's life. But these people, narcissists, this is what they do. They do this on purpose. They know what they're doing, right? And they do this to everybody. You're not the first person or the only person that they've been doing that to. And sad to say, when you were in the relationship with them or the marriage with them, you weren't the only person that they were married to. They had many people that they were looking to replace you with at the same time, because they know that at some point that relationship is going to end. They know that at some point they're going to leave you for someone else, because they're going to get bored of the supply that you offer them, right? So yeah, guys, that's what I've been trying to say, that narcissists, they don't care about anybody. They do not care. They flat out just do not care. They treat everybody else the same. They see everybody else the same, as black and white. The only people that they keep around, the only people narcissists have any respect for, 99% of the time they have no respect for anybody. They don't even have respect for themselves. The people that they keep around in their lives are people that give their behavior a pass, their poor behavior a pass, that let them get away with everything, that let them do whatever they want. They keep those people in their lives. So when the narcissist discards you, and let's say that they're with that new supply for, let's say, 40 years or 30 something years or 40 years, but they were only with you for 3 years, let's say, right? Don't think for a second that it's because that new supply is any better than you are. Because chances are that new supply is getting it worse than you. They're getting abused way more than you were. But it's just that the narcissist is keeping them around because that new supply is doing everything for the narcissist, and the new supply is letting them get away with poor behavior. And the new supply is a doormat. They're just there. They're just a person that the narcissist can abuse any which way, right? And those relationships aren't stable. They're not sustainable, right? And chances are, also keep in mind that not everything is as it appears to be. So the narcissist could claim, and it could look like on the outside, that they've been married for 30 something or 40 something years. But the truth is, you just never know if they've been separated for 20 years. They could be separated for 20 years, but you wouldn't know that, because the narcissist isn't going to tell anybody that, because they don't want to give people the satisfaction. The narcissists don't like giving people satisfaction knowing that they won against them. Narcissists need to win every single game. Narcissists see life as a game, and they need to win it at all costs. And if they lose, then that's when they sustain a narcissistic injury. And that means that they will sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes they'll look for revenge. If they're a malignant narcissist, the most dangerous of them all that will physically kill you perhaps, they will look for revenge. The covert narcissist, not so much, because they usually get people to do their bidding for them. They'll enlist the help of their flying monkeys to spy on you and to get information about you, and they'll get them to do things for them. So usually the covert narcissist won't do that. The overt narcissist, they might seek revenge against you, but again, they don't seek revenge like that. The spiritual or the grandiose, they might seek revenge against you, but the spiritual probably won't. But mostly the malignant narcissist, the most dangerous of them all, will seek revenge. So yeah, I hope that this video helped you out. Like I said, if you want a one-on-one session, you can email me at paul.wisdom_03@hotmail.com, or you can send a text message to 647-406-3057. If you want to talk, if you want to vent, if you need help, if you need advice, if you're trying to figure out the person you're dealing with is a narcissist, you can reach out to me anytime. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Be more than happy to give you some tips to look for, more tips to look for rather. And yeah, I hope that you found this video helpful. I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thank you for being here.